Guys, welcome to Stars and Cars, the live show hosted by me, your host, Mick, and obviously my good friend and partner in crime, my Garth, to my Wayne, my Robin, to my Batman. This is my good friend, Colin. Colin, say hello.
How you doing, guys? Robin? I'm Robin.
Yes. Yeah, you are Robin.
That's why Rodney.
Especially in them red underpanty style things. They're awesome. Right, okay, let's get rid of you for now. All right, cool. So, guys, thanks for joining the show. So we're putting these shows together to try and raise a bit of money for Darien House Children's Hospice, which is based in Chorley. They're the charity that we support. So far, we've raised, maybe £50,000 for the charity through our shows, through our events in the last 4 or 5 years. So the reasons behind the show is obviously we know a lot of people are sat at home, and they're struggling, and we had to postpone our show this year, so we just want to try and make a bit of extra cash. So Darien House itself, the Children's Hospice, is in Chorley in Lancashire, and to run it costs them £4.8 million every year. Out of that, they're only funded by about less than 10% from any statutory funding, and the other 90% is funded by us basically, and all the fundraisers and people out there. So that's why we want to help. That's the charity we've supported for 5 years now, and we're going to continue to support. And this, through the COVID-19, they're going to lose around £250,000 through lack of fundraising income from this. So we really do want to help out. Guys, if you want to join the stream, you want to come on and fire us questions about what the shows are going to look like, then please do. That's what this show in particular is about this week. We just want to hear your input. It's going to be a shorter show. We just want to hear your input. Drop some comments down in the comments in there. And we really want to hear what you want to see from these live shows. So Colin's going to talk a bit more about that in a second. First, I hope all you guys out there are okay and you're all well. Secondly, I want to thank all the people who've held on to the tickets for the show next year. When we postponed the show, like many other similar events out there, everyone was offering refunds, and we obviously still offer refunds, but the cost to us is huge. If everyone decided to offer, if everyone decided to take a refund, it would be an immense cost to myself and Colin, and ultimately the charity. So, guys, thanks to everyone who's held on to the ticket. I'm going to pass you over to Colin. Colin's just going to prattle on for a bit about what we want from you guys and how you can help us with the show going forward.
How you doing, guys? Nice to see you all. Yeah, just really echo what Mick said. I hope you're all staying safe. I hope you're all only going out every week for your shopping on your own, following all the government guidelines, and we're all doing our bit to make sure everyone, all the key workers, stay safe and everyone out there. So thanks for that. Right, yeah, so what are we doing? Effectively, as Mick said, we are coming to speak to you guys on a weekly basis to chat about anything really relating to our events. Now, if you've been to one of our events, you'll know that there's loads of cool cars like the Batmobile, and we've got those characters like Stormtroopers. So if you'd like to know a little bit more about what these guys do and how you can get involved, whether it be, I really want to be a Stormtrooper, how do I be a Stormtrooper, where can I go to find out some more information about doing that? These shows will help you do that. If you want to know a little bit more about cars like the Batmobile, which was going to attend our show in 2020, but we pushed it back now, obviously, till next year. But this car will be back with lots of cool characters and other cars. But if you'd like to know more about things like the Batmobile, how it was built, other than a massive wad of cash, but how they went about doing the research things, we're going to try and talk to the guys that built it and find out a little bit more about that. Other things like prop building, artwork to do with films. We're going to chat to some artists. We're going to chat to some prop builders. If you want to know how to paint certain things, if you want to have some cool tips about building props for films, we've got some guys who've built some awesome, cool replicas, and we're going to speak to those guys and see how they can help you and help us. We've also got some little bits about traders. So a lot of the guys who come and support our events come and buy a table. They come and sell their stuff, whether it be cool collectibles, whether it be artwork, things like collectibles like your little James Bond pops and things like that. So we're going to chat to some of those guys and see what cool things are on offer and what cool things we can find for you. And character chats. Now, one of the things that we do, one of the things that Mick and I do, as well as doing the show, is that we attend events as various characters. Now, without giving it away too much there, Mick. Yeah, Mick is a certain Caped Crusader, and I am a certain captain. So yeah, we attend shows and we do lots of cool work for charity, and particularly there in house the hospice. And if you'd like to speak to any of those characters, whether it be those that we just mentioned or any others, whether it be the guys from Star Wars, Stormtroopers, maybe even Darth Vader, we might be able to get him on the show and you can ask him some questions and anything cool like that. If you'd like something more than that, though, if you'd like your own kind of what I'd actually like, feeling a bit down at the moment, I'd love to have a little private conversation with a character. That's something we can arrange. If you can make a small donation to our charity, that's something we can contact those guys and see whether we can get them on the show. Darth Vader is up on the Death Star. I do understand the Death Star is still on lockdown. Mick might be able to give us a little bit more information about whether Batman, whether he knows if Batman's still on lockdown. So, Mick, is Batman still on lockdown?
Yeah, I think he really is. I spoke to him the other day. It's a lot of work putting that makeup on and stuff, he told me. So yeah, so guys, Colin's filled you in there. It's really cool. So, and it is something we're looking forward to doing. You know, we're looking forward to bringing different stuff to the show, especially the character chat. So there's a lot of like behind the scenes kind of shows that we're going to do, which is the main focus, which is, you know, people who own some of our cars, talking about the details, how they put the cars together. Really interesting and super geeky kind of stuff. But obviously, then we are going to have the other stuff, the standard character interactions. So we're going to have a lot of character chats for your kids to come and join on the show. So it won't all be like this. But again, the main reason why we host the show is to raise funds for Darien House Children's Hospice. So we have a Just Giving page, which is down here. That's the first time I've ever been able to do that. So yeah, the Just Giving page down there, justgiving.com/stars&cars. Please, if you can afford the cost of your beer that you would have had in the pub tonight, maybe not some of you because that would be an awful lot, but maybe just a $5 or something like that, that'd be absolutely amazing and massively appreciated to the children and families of Darien House. So questions and comments, has anyone got any? Fire them into the comments on here. That's great. Anne-Marie says, I'm looking forward to seeing everyone next year. Anne-Marie, we're looking forward to seeing you as well. Thanks for supporting us over the last few events you've been to. Really, really appreciate that. We've had a couple of emails come in. So we had an email from a guy called John in Horwich, which he lives pretty close, and he was asking which characters are going to be at the event next year. The characters, it's a really strange one because a lot of the guys who do suit up, they come from quite a distance away. Some of them can travel from London, some can travel from Manchester, so they're not far off. So it can be wide ranging, and who we get can only really be determined closer to the day itself. But apart from that, cars wise, Cole, have you got any update? We've got a few different cars coming this year without giving too much away, but we've got some more coming next year, right?
Yeah, obviously, other than Stormtrooper Neil took a tumble then. Yeah, other than obviously the Batmobile, one of the things we really wanted to look at this year is given the fact that Bond was on the horizon. So Mr. Bond was meant to be out in April, which was going to tie in with our show. It also coincided with the 25th anniversary of GoldenEye. That was another thing that we were pushing quite heavily. Well, those cars will be back for next year. We postponed that, so Bond will be a big part of the show next year. We've been in contact with a lot of guys who've got a number of the cars, and even looking at some of the ones that were actually in the films and seeing whether we can sort something out there. So we're not going to tell you what or which ones, but something that we're working on between now and next April. Other than your usual favourites are back, the ones that you really love to see, the General Lee, the A-Team, Knight Rider, all those guys will be back. We'll be bringing in all the usual favourites and some of the rarities as well. Some of the things that's great about our show is, given the number of vehicles that we have, is the fact that we're able to do a lot of research behind the scenes to try and find the real rare ones. Things like the Wayne's World car, which you'd never usually see. Where we unearthed that from, we don't even know. But yeah, that was brilliant. A really brilliant addition. The things like that only kind of popped up here and there. So yeah, we've got plenty of stuff to look at. Meg?
Yo. So Justin Bentley. Yeah, Justin Bentley. Still looking forward to seeing the 89 Batmobile. Justin, that is a beast of a car. When you actually see it up close, it's similar to the Tumbler from last year. The Tumbler was massive, but this is so big in a corner. It just gobsmacked. When you see it, it's way bigger than what you think. It's way bigger. So, we've got a nice comment coming in here from Anne Marie. As long as you bring back the cute Mr. Bond back next year, who was there last year, I'm pretty sure the cute Mr. Bond will be there again. We've got plenty of cars for him. There he is. He was really actually upset that you weren't there this year because we had so many cars for him. But don't worry, Mr. Bond, we've kept your cars. And a pretty standard comment from our good friend and supporter of long time, Steve Fawcett. Hi, Steve. How's it going out there? Any jam? Yeah. So that relates. We knew this was coming, Carl. So Steve has been supporting us for a long, long time. And this is another bit of back info, actually, on some of our car owners and characters. All these guys come for minimum cash, for expenses at the maximum, really. We only have to pay some of our bigger cars that are traveling from a long way away. But a lot of our other cars come for nothing. Guys, we couldn't do the show without you. And Steve, Mr. Fawcett, he's another one of the guys who's helped us for a long time. One year we paid him in sandwiches, and he wasn't impressed that there was no jam sandwiches. So since 2016, it's been a long-running joke that we pay him in jam. So when he comes, we give him bottles of jam. So yeah, Steve, don't worry, there'll be jam this year. We might start getting you something now and stock it up. What do you reckon, Paul?
Yeah, well, remember, we also actually paid one guy bottles of Coors. The Bandit, smoking the Bandit. Yeah, there's no better way to pay the Bandit than bottles of Coors. So we basically filled his boot with Coors, and it was distributed throughout all the guys. The best payment ever. Who wants cash when you can have beer?
Yeah, there you go. Exactly. Especially at this time. So, guys, I think we'll move on from the comments. So, guys, if you got any more questions or any more suggestions as to what you want in the show for next year, please do let us know. If there's any particular cars in the show, if there's any particular characters, let us know, and we do our best. Sometimes there's cars that people request that just don't exist. Yeah. And we just can't get hold of some of them, but we try our best to do everything that we can for you guys. Same for the shows, the live shows itself. If there's any content that you think we can bring that we haven't thought of, please do let us know. We'd be great to hear from you. Drop us a PM, drop us a comment, drop us whatever you want. Just get in touch. Let us know. Right, let's move on. So next week's show, so we're going to wrap up this week's show. So next week's show is actually really, really exciting. I'm really excited about the show. So we're going to have a quiz next week, and it's going to be hosted by a well-known TV celeb. It's going to be hosted by Mr. Steve Pemberton. So Steve Pemberton is a multi-BAFTA award-winning TV celeb who last year won the BAFTA for Best Male Performance in a Comedy Program for Inside Number 9. Known most famously for Inside Number 9, The League of Gentlemen, Benidorm, many other TV shows. Steve, what some of you might not know, he's an ambassador for Derry House Children's Hospice, and he's always seen on TV, testing his knowledge on many TV quiz shows, of which he's won thousands of pounds for the charity. And on top of that, he's gained some great exposure for the charity along the way. So Steve is an absolute legend. He's a long-term supporter of us. So we can't wait to have him on the show. We've been trying to get him to Stars and Cars himself for a while, but his filming schedule's obviously crazy. So he's going to host a quiz next week. It's going to be a general knowledge, just for fun quiz. He's going to auction off some of his own personal memorabilia from League of Gentlemen and Inside Number 9. He's also going to be open for some live Q&A. So any big fans want to come on the show and fire some questions over to him, I'm sure he'll really appreciate that. So drop us a message about that. More details will be coming out on the page about that. Later today, tomorrow, maybe Monday. So that's next Saturday, 5 o'clock, May the 9th, on here and on our YouTube channel for Steve Pemberton's live quiz. So Colin, I just got here. Just want to explain, give some appreciation to the guys out there, everyone who supports us and continues to support what we do for Darien House. Have you got anything to say to the guys?
Just a huge thank you. I mean, like Mick was saying, I mean, we do this as a hobby, really, for just because we're enthusiasts. We're massive film enthusiasts. As you can see from the room behind me, I'm a massive geek when it comes to films. We do love this, But ultimately, the main aim and what gives it some real purpose is the fact that we're able to raise so much money for the hospice. And it's not just necessarily about raising the money, that the show itself just gives these kids Disneyland basically for the day. They're able to come down and see the characters. They're able to shake hands, give high fives to stormtroopers, meet Batman, sit in the cars. I mean, that in itself, it just creates a priceless day out for the guys. So yeah, thank you really for all your support, all the guys who bring cars, all the guys who suit up, but all you guys out there who do offer your financial support so we can do this on an annual basis, and hopefully post lockdown we can get some kind of little event in the works as a little bit of a thank you, so we can kind of get out there and blast out this lockdown.
Yeah, let's do that. Hey, just as we're about to go, obviously the questions start piling in now, so let's answer some of these. Jason Conrad, what was the strangest request you have had? Cole, do you want that?
Oh, I think it's probably just working with you, to be honest. I think that was probably the strangest.
Brilliant. Thank you for that. Let's move on. Tanya, hey Tanya, how you doing? What about any horror movie cars? So we had the Death Proof car, Cole, this year? We would have. I
mean, we've got Ghostbusters. I mean, that is the ultimate horror car. It's not really
we tried, actually,
in the world, but
the amount of times we get asked for Christine.
Christine's tricky. We were aware of the one in the country, but it's right down south, and it's a very old car, very difficult to move. And obviously, given the location of our event in Bolton, there's some logistics involved. So, like I said, there's a lot of these vehicles do exist. They are here. But given the fact that we're in Bolton, we have to weigh up the cost basically of moving these vehicles, a lot of them all over the country. So we can't expect a lot of these guys to drive a car that's 60, 70 years old up to Bolton without bringing it in some kind of transport. So yeah, that's another one. We've got some other things lined up, hopefully for next year. So yeah, horror, certainly we're not ignoring it. Try and see what's out there.
I think as well, you've got the question, you can go into this on like bang for buck, if you will, value, especially so something like that to get Christine from way down south would cost us maybe £1,000 of money, which would we make money off that? Probably not, so but like I said, for an 89 Batmobile, yes, we sell tickets off that. So yeah, so there's a lot of that goes on when we determine how and what we bring. Anita,
just how we actually. Sorry, Mick. Just to kind of jump on that. Yeah, I mean, that's thing. Everything that we do, every attraction that we bring in, we make a financial decision on. We have to make an assessment basically, because ultimately what we're doing is for a charity. So every penny we spend, we have to make sure that there is some likely profit in that, because we haven't just got an unlimited pot of cash to spend. I mean, if we had the biggest venue in the world and the ultimate pot of cash, then we could obviously look at covering off everything. But we have to be careful.
Yeah, there is that. It's all the time. That's so we're penny pinching all the time just to try and maximize the donation to the charity, but also maximize the show. We want the show to be awesome, but we don't want to have an awesome show and give the charity no money, because that's not what it's about. On to Anita. Anita's a massive helper at Stars and Cars, part of the backstage team. Will Chitty Chitty Bang Bang still be there in 2021? Yes, he will. So Chitty Chitty Bang Bang will be there. Actually, I think we're pretty safe to say that 99.9% of the vehicles we've got booked for this year will be there next year, Colin.
Yeah. So we've done a lot of work to try and retain. I mean, all the guys who were kind of signed up for this year, we're really looking forward to the show. I mean, given the fact it's the only real kind of show like that in the UK and probably Europe, to be honest. So, I mean, all these guys are really excited, very happy to be supporting the supporting the charity with these amazing vehicles. So, yeah, subject to obviously personal availability, we're looking like the majority, the overriding majority of vehicles will be back next year.
Awesome.
And some more
Pete, and some more. Peter Bain, I'm a cosplayer, cosplays Bain, saying he'd love to come to the show. We already actually have a Bain, Peter, but please do get in touch. Do you know what I mean? Because we're always looking for new people and people to do different things. Get in touch with us. And this is what we ask most costumers and and characters. If we feel that you can add value to the show, we can fit you in. We're always happy to hear from different people with different things. Rob Clark, hi Rob, how you doing, mate? Make Aston Martin DB5 James Bond, or Colin will prattle on there about the Bond stuff. I'll just get a nap.
Oh, yeah. Bond, we do love a bit of Bond here at Stars and Cars. We love a bit of Bond. So, yeah, the Aston Martin will be back next year. Again, subject to any yeah, I mean, I said James Bond is I mean, I'm a huge Bond fan. It's something that we've really been looking to do. Whilst we've been doing this over the last 5 years, trying to source Bond cars has been really difficult. These cars are very, very expensive. None of these guys readily advertise their availability, given obviously the expense. We've done a lot of work with Aston Martin via the owners club to try and trace a lot of these vehicles. So we build a really good relationship with the owners. That's one of the things that we really do pride ourselves on, the relationship that we have with the car owners, and for the benefit of really of the event and giving these things to you guys so you can get access to them. But yes, the Aston Martin DB5 is one of the priorities for next year, certainly.
Yeah, definitely. I agree. Justin's just Steve Pemberton is also currently the new Killing Eve. Yeah, I noticed that yesterday. I was speaking to him, so he's been grafting doing that as well. Anne-Marie's back. Anne-Marie, my son said Bumblebee, Herbie Car are there. My daughter can't wait to see if the princesses are there. So the Princess Palace is always a feature of our event. A massive thank you while we're here to Big White Events, David and his team at Big White Events who help us with that. Without them, we could not do that at all. So they're amazing. Check them out for all your wedding requirements. Not at the moment, obviously, but just check them out in the future. But yeah, the Princess Palace will be there. We plan on having some princesses on here for live chats as well at some point, Anne-Marie, so that would be great. Yeah, Bumblebee, Herbie, yeah, they'll be there as well. So your son doesn't have to worry about that. Wayne Myers, how's it going, Wayne? Dude, nice comment. Tanya, I want Christine. Yeah, Steve Fawcett is back. Who have we got here? Can you get the pussy wagon from Kill Bill? Probably not, if I'm not being honest, Kev. Do you know what I mean? Again, we go back to the question that some of the requests that we have are crazy things like this, and they just don't exist, to be honest. Something like that, I can't. That's so niche. I really don't think we'd find anything like that in the country. What do you think, Cole?
Yeah, it's something we've looked into. I'm not quite sure there actually is one in the UK. I mean, a lot of these vehicles were made in the US. I'm really not aware of one. I mean, if anyone knows of one, brilliant, give us a shout. But I'm not aware of one personally.
Yeah. Anyone, if there's anyone out there who knows someone with cars, please do get them to get in touch with us or give us the detail, and we'll have a chat. Again, Leanne Sparks, #1 fan. Right, I'll tell you something about Leanne now. Leanne has supported us for many years. She's always the first person to buy the first ticket for our events every year without fail. How she does it, I don't know. Need Supernatural car. Again, please. Colin, that's one for you.
Yeah, we are aware of a couple in the country. Location might be a little bit tricky, but obviously now we've got a bit of time, plenty of time to look into this, subject to cost, obviously.
Subject to cost, always subject to cost. But we don't expect people to come and travel and pay £50 for a hotel and then pay obviously £500 to get there. We don't expect people to come for free, but in the same way, we expect people to understand what we do our show for. And if we don't feel it brings value to the show financially, then we don't get them. Simple as that. Neil Halewood, Darien House Community Ambassador, much like Colin. So Neil, big shout out to you. Neil helps us every year. Neil's running a weekly live stream similar to this called Play Your Cards Right. Every Sunday at 6 p.m. Play your cards right in isolation. Please have a search for that on Facebook. It's really good. Giving free pizza away every weekend. Why would no one not join that show? And giving out loads of other stuff. So Neil, thank you very much for your support every single year. Dave Sinclair, happy to chat, show my costumes under lockdown. If you need me, just holler or Holland. I like Holland, but there you go. Let's get Dave in for a show. Dave does some great stuff. So yeah, so guys, thanks for your comments. Really, really appreciate it. Again, please fire any more you've got over to us at any time you want. So I think we're pretty much done. So guys, thanks for watching. Again, Massive appreciation for you tuning in. Check us on YouTube, please. YouTube channel. We've only just started this. We've only just started the YouTube channel. So I think we've got about 3 or 4 subscribers, and 3 of them are me. So please subscribe to that. The address will be YouTube/Stars and Cars Events. At the moment, we can't get a custom URL until 100 people subscribe. So if you can search for Stars and Cars Events on YouTube, give us a like on there. And that's it. I think we're pretty much done. Colin, anything from you?
No, just a massive thanks, guys, and just remember to tune in next week. Steve Pemberton, that's a massive, massive, massive big deal for us. So you can't believe how much work that's taken. So yeah, it's a huge appreciation. I mean, live quiz, and no Googling as well. No Googling. Let's all do it.
Steve actually came to us. So amazing. Steve Pemberton. Tune in next week, guys, for Steve Pemberton. Please give us some shares. Subscribe to us on YouTube. That'd be great. Until then, see you all next week.
Cheers, guys. Wayne's World.